My name is Jürgen Hohen. I'm Lederhosen Salesforce, and welcome to another portion of setting up Lightning communities and how to do it. So basically, it's an extension of site.com Visual Force Pages, but it's a dynamic website. That's how you have to think of it. And I'm going to try to condense a half an hour segment into about 5 minutes. So first thing is you go to Lightning. Salesforce Lightning Setup, you go to Object Manager and you create data categories, and then you create data categories through knowledge. So first data categories such as a region, like if somebody comes in from France, they see a French website. If somebody comes in by email, it could be anything, right? If somebody comes in for a new car versus an old car, if somebody comes in for global logistics or rerouting, it's different data categories, and then they see different things, and that renders different panels on your website. Okay, so let's continue. So we're here, we're in setup, data categories. I'm going to do email, web, and other. So how did they come in, right? And first they're inactive, and then you make them active, right? And then the next step you do, let me just go through this. Here's the data category setup. That's the key though. That's key to everything. If you don't have data categories, you can't build a dynamic website. And that's what Lightning Community is. Then you name a unique name, because they'll actually publish a unique name in your setup, which is, like Lederhosen Salesforce, like my YouTube channel. That's great, but don't use your company name, because when you test it and people say yes, use something obscure, hyperflagellas egyptianmuseum.com. That's what it will be. And here, for instance, I'm doing it. Now you'll create branding with your community. So it's a Lightning community, which essentially links most often to the case object, but not always. It depends on what you assign people that go into the community to do, right? Here is the branding upload, which has to come from let me show you. You actually go to the desktop, you load it up. You can upload an image like Salesforce and others. You go to next. Then you have discount structure, say for content pop. What kind of content do you want rendered? What do you want required? What fields do you want required? Maybe the name and an email if they come in through the web, through the community. If they're going to say file a case. And here it is rendering. And this is how it renders. Then you can throw in some components on top of that here with the Lightning, such as language picker, reports, things like that, right? So somebody could choose Espanol oder Deutsch, wie ich spreche Deutsch. Ich bin perfekter Deutscher. Nicht perfekt, etwas. Ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen. Maybe it's because ich habla zuerst. Das ist an example of Salesforce IQ. Ich kriege intelligence on all the emails that come in. That's just so rock. See, somebody opened my email in Morocco. All right, anyways, so here's the navigation. This is an example of dropping down some components, right? Then how do you want the tracking? Do you want advanced tracking? Do you want Google Analytics? What kind of languages do you want, right? What's the theme? This is all in here. This is all in the template builder. Watch this. I know I'm going a little bit fast, but it's pretty intuitive. If you get the concept that this is basically Lightning Communities is Salesforce on steroids, and it's a dynamic website first that's powered by the power of Salesforce Foundation with the overlay of Lightning. And the Lightning is just like your iPhone. That's how you need to think about it. Here you go, the components. And this is the power of Salesforce and the power of Lightning. You can just use this in the community. You can use the same report chart in something different, right? Here it is. And then on the upper right up here, you can then say, show the report name, show the refresh button. Let's change it. Let's do the top 5 only, or the top 3, or something like that. How to change the report, right? So here it is, the record list. How many do you want to show? And who do you want to show it to? Like by profile, to give certain permissions. Here again, view Lederhosen community workspace setup. Let's do content tagging. That's the next thing. Content tagging is key because when somebody searches on a keyword, then you have, say, email content come up, and you have featured topics. And that's how you reduce the number of calls into your Salesforce org or into your organization, by using knowledge. And that knowledge can be transferred in between Marketing Cloud, Sales Cloud, Lightning communities. This is super powerful. But again, think of this as a dynamic website. Here is an example of me tagging some content, and this is how it renders. So again, here we go. On the upper right, we can go back to Builder. We can go Home, right? We have email. These are the data types, categories. Other, Web. You can choose to ask a question. For instance, here. How do I reset my password? You know, right? Immediately a case number. And this works great. This really works. And it will reduce the total inflow, or even you can use a community for quoting. You know, here's the top questions. Here are the top proposal questions we need. I'm very big on champion proposals. Here's my cases, right? Replace my tent. Yeah, I had an issue with my tent. It was not guaranteed. It was guaranteed to sleep 4, and let's just say 2/3 of me fit in. It made for some awkward camping. Okay, so with that, I want to say thank you so much. Lederhosen Salesforce and out. Again, this is how to build Lightning communities. First, data categories, then the website, you enable it, and then you throw on components. And this is how, and then you do knowledge, tagging. And those are the key steps to Salesforce communities. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know.